I'm ready. My passion's speaking, so it breaks my heart to announce that this time next year, better culture will not exist. If you listen to those scaremongers that are out there, that will tell you that, or suggest that this country is grinding to a halt, of course better culture will be here in 12 months' time, which is why I'd like to share with you my 6 simple strategies to become a standout speaker. Not just at better culture, in the outside world as well. But first, you've heard it already, and that is starting with something that the audience is not expecting. Starting with impact. Because you see, when we give presentations, we've often got people in the audience that don't want to be there. It might be the staff conference and they're obliged to be there. They might have had a skinful the night before, they're sat at the back with their arms folded, can't wait for the morning break. You've got to say something they're not expecting that's going to wake them up. That's going to startle them. What did he just say? What did she just say? Did I hear that right? Obviously, then you'll explain what you mean by that. Now, I've been speaking for 6.5 years, and I absolutely love what I do. Last night, I spoke at a small event when I told the people, the small business people, you will not be here in 12 months' time. They all went, what? Number 2, act about. I don't mean act a fool up here. What I mean is get into character. What's her name? You did that fantastically. You went into character. Is it Kate or is it Andrea? Get into character. I decided I was going to write a book about my life 7, 8 years ago. My uncle said, Richard, who wants to hear your story? I just got into character. That was my Uncle Patsy. Get into character. When I was 13, I gave a presentation at school about pigeons. When I gave the presentation, I went to the right-hand side of the stage and I picked out a pigeon out of this little box at the side of the stage. I extended its wings on stage. I'm getting into character right now. And I picked up that little tip or skill from Doug Stevenson, who wrote a book called Never Be Boring Again. People don't do that. Some people do that and they stand out. Number 3 is change direction. I don't mean change your career. What I mean is take your audience down a particular path and at last minute just flick it like comedians do and take them by surprise. 15 years ago, I got sent to prison on a drugs charge with a drug dealer. We've heard that mentioned twice today. Army prison in Leeds. I'm not ashamed of that. Actually, I am, actually. But I came out of Army prison on the 3rd of July, 1997. The joy of leaving prison left me. 3 months later, I was back in court, getting my house repossessed. Change direction at the last minute when they're not expecting it. Number 4, involve your audience. Ivor, where are you? I hope I didn't upset you by saying better culture will not be here in 12 months' time. I'm involving my audience already. I've involved my audience there. Most speakers don't do that. Do that and you'll stand out. Number 5. Oh, Gervais Finn is where I got that one from. You should reference where you get your material from. Gervais Finn came to speak at the Professional Speaking Association and did it perfectly. He gave a presentation and he weaved into the conversation they had over coffee. I did it last year at an audience of 3,000 people at the National Indoor Arena. I spoke to Kate and Jack before the presentation in the audience. They just set up their own business. When I came to speak about courage, I mentioned them by name. Most speakers don't do that. It was the scariest presentation, actually. Number 5. This is so fast-paced, I forgot where I am. Leeds Town Hall. Tim Vine, I think it is. I saw that over Christmas. Humour. Inject humour into your presentations. That's me when I was 16 with a tank top on. Have you seen that? How funny is that? Oh. At night, I did that by accident about 3 years ago. I got the biggest laugh. So now I put that black side into my presentations all the time. And last of all, my sixth tip is to pause. When you're dropping a bombshell on an audience, you've got to give them time to think about what you've just said. At the age of 5, some of you know this, at the age of 5 I was taken to a children's home because my mum never came home. That photograph appeared in the national newspapers. She didn't come home because she lost her life at the hands of Peter Sutcliffe, the Yorkshire Ripper. You need time to think about that. I don't just go on to my next sentence straight away. It sent me on a downward spiral. I was a very insecure, very fragile young boy. But you know what? I'm so glad that I'm 43 years of age and I've turned that around and I've actually become one of the busiest speakers in the UK. This is my 1,387th presentation in the last 7 years. This is the 4th time I've spoken on this stage. That was for Tom Reardon. Is Tom still here? Is he gone? Did I let the sword? Is he gone? That was me speaking I speak all over the world. I've spoken in Malaysia, South Africa, Switzerland, all over the place. It's my 3rd presentation, my 3rd venue today. I've got a day off tomorrow. One of the organisations I speak for is the Forgiveness Project. I go into prisons and I share my story. Not because I've forgiven Peter Sutcliffe for murdering my mum, but because I've got an opinion on forgiveness. And they invited me down to a conference 2.5 years ago where Archbishop Desmond Tutu was speaking and he demonstrated the pause to great effect. He said, you can never force a person to forgive another. But when it occurs, it has the capacity to change a situation. That was the moment I forgave Peter Sutcliffe for murdering my mum. I hope some of that's been helpful. I'm Richard McCann. Thank you very much.